Now, I remember, I think it was Taurus a few months ago, they got the sun here. And someone said, oh, what a negative reading. You would not get the sun as your advice if you were already rocking that energy. So let's be clear on this. If the sun is coming up as your advice, it's trying to show you the way. It's urging you to kind of rock that energy. That's one of your cards. You're ruled by the sun, Leo. But let's start off right here. Very kind of heavy, stuck energy. Not in a negative way. There's a purpose for it. I kind of get the sense a lot of you have been doing kind of like a life review, looking back, saying, what the hell? What have I just been through? Four of Cups. You know why you feel stuck? You know, sometimes when we're tired, lethargic, you know, we feel like we're blocked. We feel like, oh God, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's because we're considering options that do not serve us. Bottom line. This is why it's so boring. This is why there's that stuck energy. This is why that more of the same, because of this. The Three Cups. Now, she's at least turned her back to the Three Cups. She's like, I don't want them. But usually in the Four of Cups, the person's actually staring at them. As if, you know, if they can just stare at the Three Cups long enough, they'll make them work. But the fact is, especially for you guys, if you love something, if you knew it was yours, you'd go and grab it. It would be yours. You'd do it. And I actually talked about this morning. It didn't come up on Instagram as the card, but it came up in my kind of mind's eye as I was talking about the energy and this actual version of it. Because have a look at her. She wants this. She wants this beautiful, magical cup. Like, the rest of them are just bland little ones. This is the big, the Ace of Cups. The new way of feeling. Something that pulls you emotionally. Emotional potential that you see here. But she doesn't see it. From her viewpoint, I always think, does she just see four flowers? And yet, if she stood up, if she moved sideways, if she did something, she'd notice, oh my God, the cup's right there in front of me. Right there in front of me. So the message here coming is, it's, please don't settle for the things that, you know, don't serve you. Those options, if you don't know which option to pick, then maybe none of those options are for you, right? But you've got the Nine of Swords here. So this is overthinking. Now, I like this. Bear with me. If you're like, what the hell is she talking about? The Nine of Swords is not a great energy. It's where we are driving ourselves nuts. And I feel like you're driving yourself nuts trying to figure out which option is the right one for me. Which one of these can I pick? How can I make this work? So you're trying, but you're overthinking it, because why are you limiting it just to those options? Why isn't there another option that's available there? And the Nine of Swords does say, you know, things are not as bad as they seem. Which, that doesn't mean they're not bad. No one just wakes up and wants to get stressed out and anxious and worried about what people will think. That's not something that we actively choose. But the more we keep going over it and over it and over it, like looking at those cups, considering them, it just feels bigger and bigger and bigger and worse and worse and worse until it becomes insurmountable. Lack of sleep. Some of you, this might literally be lack of sleep. I know I haven't been sleeping much with in the last few weeks. But it's just that. I mean, I wasn't even stressed out about anything. It was just couldn't sleep with the energies and stuff that are around. And maybe it's lack of boredom. Sometimes this can be like, I've done so little. Sometimes we're not tired or frustrated and stuff because we've been doing too much. It's because we've been doing too little of the things that we love and that we enjoy and that appeal to us. Now, at the heart of your reading, we have Judgment. What a big energy to get at the heart of your reading. And half the cards here are major arcana. Biggies. You've got big cards coming in. This kind of just came through as well. Like, I want you to think about it. I said it's kind of stuck energy. And yet it's the most kind of chaotic stuck energy. Like, it's frantic. It feels kind of hectic and kind of all over the place. And yet there's no movement. It's kind of like an enclosed kind of bubble of chaos. And you've tried really hard to bring stability to it. So we've got Judgment coming up. And Judgment is the review. It says, look back at the cycle you've just been on, because a decision is being called for. Because this turning your back on the options that don't serve you, and that's probably what's stressing you out as well. You know, once you do that, there's no going back. The decision that you're being called to make right now, the judgment call, and it's a call to action. It's a call to do something, right? To go move forward, to face your future without fear, to commit to something. It's big. And you know, once you do that, there's no going back. There's no going back. So I get it. There's this kind of pause here for that. But that's the only way you can move forward. This card can talk about forgiveness. This card can be about releasing. But it's that dark night of the soul energy. The phoenix rises up from the ashes in the Judgment card. The people rise up from their graves and have a chance at a second, a new life. These are second chances. This is rebirth. This is transformation. But how do we do that? By letting go of the old life. By whatever that fire is, by coming out of it, like, just soaring out of that. That's how the phoenix rises up. But it gets burnt to a crisp first. So this is really drawing a line under everything. That's, some of you might be longing for things from the past or options from the past. And I can understand why, because you put in so much bloody effort into whatever you've been trying to build. King of Pentacles, I love him. He's traditional. He's committed. He's successful. He's all about the physical. That's what he rules, the physical realm. How do we build this? How do we make this work? Yes, there's value in that, but how do we get the value out of that? Let's roll up our sleeves and get stuck in and build this. Past energy. It's earth energy. It's very physical. The kings are fixed signs. So this is, literally speaking, this is Taurus energy. That's Aquarius energy. And that King of Cups at the bottom was the King of Cups, right? Yeah, King of Cups. That's Scorpio energy. Where's Leo? Where's Leo energy? There's Leo energy. But the sun, everything. So there is a lot of fixed energy coming in. But this is that, what's of value to me? What do I want to work on? And you've been doing that. So of course, if you invested a lot of time and energy into something, it's hard to draw a line under it, right? But my lovelies, all it does, the options that it's given you, you don't want them. And it's stressing you out. It's stressing you out. For those of you that this message is for. But that's about to change. Don't worry. He's going to change that. That's your energy that's coming in the present. So I get it. The physical is there. I think you've physically invested time in a relationship, in work, a business, whatever that situation is. No one can say to you when the King of Pentacles comes up that you haven't been committed to it and that you haven't done everything in your power to make it a success. But it doesn't work for you anymore, does it? It's just not there. There's something lacking in this. There can be things that look amazing on paper. They can look great on paper. But if it doesn't fill your heart up, if it doesn't draw you forward, open up new options for you, then, where's the growth? Where's how good is it if it doesn't appeal to you? And so I feel like there's a major transformation going on. And it might even be that sense of, I should love this more. Why am I so stressed out? Why do I feel so bored by this? That shouldn't I love this? Shouldn't I be feeling better about this? Because there's a new life calling you. There's a new Leo that is being born here with judgment coming up. And look at the present. We have the King of Swords coming up. Now, he is not going to do this. He doesn't have time for this. He doesn't understand this energy. Why? Because he knows what he knows. For those of you that feel that the time and energy you invested into something or someone has been a waste, it has not. Why? Because you would not be sitting pretty as the King of Swords if you hadn't done this. If you hadn't invested your time and energy into that. If you hadn't committed to it the way that you had. That has what's given you this. I just remembered a story actually. My Leo dad told me this. When he was very young and he worked up in like central London at a hotel or something, and he was just, I don't know what they would do. Like he was a porter or something, like, he was very young and he was working there. And he said the boss's son, so the guy who owned those chain of hotels, and I don't remember what the chain was, but it's like a big chain, someone like bloody Paris Hilton or someone. But the son of the person who owned that chain, he was there being a porter with him. And they were saying to him, why are you doing this? And he said, because my dad wants me to know every aspect of the business. That if I'm going to take over and be in charge of these hotels, then I have to know what it's like to, be a housekeeper, to be a porter, to work in the kitchens, to work in the laundry room. Like he had to do every part of it. And that story, I haven't thought about that for years, but it's reminding me of this. Whatever you put physical effort into, it's actually given you more knowledge. It's given you this knowledge to know what to do next. A plan. What's the answer? But it's hard, right? It can feel like a waste. That why did I invest so much? Because you're going to go do something new. And that's the King of Swords. He is very articulate. He's a great communicator. He's not going to get stuck in his head. So this is very much a week of knowing what you know. Whatever you went through, whether you feel it was a waste of time or not, whether you're kind of stuck there now and thinking I should be happier about this, there is a decision that's called for, and he's the perfect person to make it because he has mastery. He has mastery over thoughts, beliefs, ideas. Now, for some of you, this is a very spiritual message. I'll give you the spiritual angle on this. This is the physical. focused on making money, focused on family, support, relationships, commitment, showing up, getting it done in the physical. Swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, how we communicate them. And it's like, well, that doesn't, I've always worked in the corporate world. My example, I come from the corporate world. But now I don't believe in that anymore. That's not what I believe in. My beliefs are moving me somewhere else. There's more thoughts here. I feel bored and stuck with what I'm doing. I want my spirituality or my belief system or the truths that I am invested in, I want them to mean something. And so, that's the faith card. What do you have faith in? And so we draw a line under the past. But you can apply that to anything. If I see a specific story, I will always say it. But trust that you know what you know. This is not real. If you can't square that circle, if, that bloody square peg won't go in that round hole, then why do we keep doing that? Maybe there's something new that you can know out of that. How to go create what it is that you want to create. So what's coming up in the future is the Hierophant. And that's Taurus energy as well. So there's strong Taurus influence here. But with the Hierophant, we are in Taurus season. And maybe that's what it's saying. It's like, this is time for you to understand what is it that you value. You know what you value after doing all of this. But it's about truly acknowledging and knowing it, making a decision based on that. And then you commit to it. The Hierophant is commitment. It's, I have faith in this. I have faith in this. And you have faith in it based on your experience with these two coming up. It's based on your experience. Think about it. What's the difference between being stuck and being solid? What's the difference between being stubborn and bringing stability to a situation? They're not that different. It's a very thin line. But it's where you have the flexibility to know, I choose to be here. Not that I am stuck here. Not that I have to be here. I choose to be here. And that's the Hierophant. I choose to conform to this rule book. I choose to belong to this community. I choose to belong to this religion, to this faith. I choose to follow those traditions and those rituals. There's the choice in the Hierophant. We choose it. And it brings stability to our lives. Grounding. But something's transformed. This you'd be coming out of a crisis of faith. But the faith is there now. What's your advice? Your advice is the sun. And the sun is about clarity. Clarity. This is where we put every bloody light on in the place. We just turn it all on. Now, what happens when you first turn the lights on? You feel blinded, right? You can't really see clearly because you've been so used to the dark. And this can be, like I said, dark night of the soul. But no one's going to come and turn the lights on because you're Leo. That's your card. You shine bright. This is about shining bright. You bring the light. This is creation. The sun is, I always say, it's like the bird's eye view of the maze. You're still in the maze. You're still stuck in that maze. But when you kind of really look at it, you look at where the obstacles are. You think, okay, well, that way is a dead end. That way is the way out. Do I want to go out or do I want to go deeper into the maze? That's the sun. It's clarity in everything. We see everything clearly. But only when we express clearly. Clearly from what we've done. Clearly on what we know. And what we believe in. What we have faith in. The other thing with the sun is I always remind everyone, you are the sun in the solar system of your life. Whatever you focus on, you're going to make that grow. You shine your light on that. So if you're kind of think about this. What is it that you keep running through your mind again and again? Because there's something here that I don't feel like you can change. And it's like, if you haven't come up with something by now with these two energies, you're not gonna. And it might be that you can't find a solution to that situation because you don't even want that situation. You want to be somewhere else. This very positive energy. This talks about seeing the potential. So if you kind of have found yourself looking at where things are wrong, this feels like the week to use your knowledge, your decision-making skills, your beliefs, your ideas, your own truths to look for solutions. Where can I create something new? Where can I shine a light? Because the Three of Wands is the card of expectations. What are we expecting to come in? But that's just it. Think about expectations or faith. If you don't even believe in it, how the hell is it going to come in? Why would you wait around for it if you don't believe it? Belief, faith in self, faith in whatever it is that you've been doing, in what you know. That's key here, Leo. What grounds you? What makes you feel strong? What helps you to kind of, I see that, I can almost see like a lion climbing up on the, that kind of rock edge, a very kind of Lion King thing, puffing out his chest, looking out, and that this is all mine. This is all mine. And yet before this is that sense of the Leo who's cowering away. Who's like, what? I don't know. Look at her sat there, shining her light, because she sees the potential. It's not coming in here now, but she knows it's coming in because she has taken the steps. She's taken the action. She's built. She's invested time and energy in something that, why wouldn't it come in? She may not know the form that it comes in. So I get the sense a lot of you have had a crisis of faith here, but it's the reason we have faith, and it's always faith in ourselves. It's not faith in anything or anyone outside of ourselves. This could be breaking traditions. It's like, traditionally I behave this way, or my family have told, they're all bloody doctors and I want to be an actor, or, society can't tell me, or my religion can't tell me who I can date and get married to. I choose that. And when you make that decision, you decide what you have faith in, and there's a new you being born, then that will match your expectations. That's the whole point why we have faith, because then it governs our actions. It governs what we do. And this person has a plan of action ready, based on what they know is coming in, based on their faith, based on the actions they've taken. Look at this. So we've got the Hierophant is faith. The Hanged Man is belief. I believe is the Hanged Man. Guys, I'm telling you this. For some of you, it's such a massive spiritual message. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to, because he's very physical. The thing with the Hanged Man, why does he hang up there? Why does he need to see things from a different perspective? Because this is a change in philosophy, King of Swords. Change in what you believe in, right? But he always leaves something of the ego up here. He always leaves something of the ego up here. What does that mean? If some of you have identified with, I have no, my self-worth comes from the relationships that I'm in. My self-worth comes from my body and how I look. If I've got muscles or if I weigh a certain amount. My self-worth comes from the education that I have, how, articulate I am, how, intelligent I am, whatever it is, that changes. He leaves that behind. Something that he had believed before, he leaves behind. It gets flipped on its head. So when he comes down, and he will come down, things get moving very quickly. Why? Because he's lost that identity. He's lost that thing that his ego identified with. Nothing wrong with ego. It's just now you might identify with, I don't know, how good you feel, who you can love. It might be something else, something expressive. Because then you shine a light on it and you see the potential there, right? But at a core level, something is fundamentally changing here for you guys. Judgment, Hierophant, faith, the Hanged Man, belief. And when you have belief in something, it's going to dictate the actions that you take, what you focus on, where you see the potential. If I believe the tarot is bullshit, like say that's what changes for me, I think, oh my God, this is just bullshit. Then I wouldn't show up and do readings. That's going to change my action. I'm going to go focus on something else that does. And yet if you believe, that's why it's so key to get in touch with, like, what is my philosophy? What do I believe in? And it comes from the physical, from what you've done in the physical, from what you believe about the physical. That King of Pentacles sat up there. Be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Now, love can be romance. It can be the things that we love, where we see the potential, all of that stuff. But that's what I mean. He expresses it. As much as swords are about our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them, that's not a card of communication. That's a card of staying up until bloody 3 a.m. in the morning, getting driven nuts by the thoughts running through your head. Why am I stuck? Why is this happening? And so this is the expression, and he's very good at that. And you guys are love, you're heart-based, you're heart-ruled. What do you love? Express that. Ooh, I love this. Blessed. Blessed. You are blessed, right? But do you believe that? That's what I mean. There's this kind of spirituality. And it's something that I've been pulling. I mean, I'm recording this on Sunday the 12th. And I think on Instagram today, I pulled The Dude Abides from the Oracle of E. And I talked about it. I pulled it 6 days ago as well. And I talked about it then as well. I was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing watching this video about tarot and listen to spiritual messages? If you don't believe that there's more to this than that, if you don't believe there's more to you than just the physical, right? Of the money that comes in. What do you have faith in? What are you trying to grow? Who are you? And that's when we realize how blessed we truly are, how everything truly serves us. And one of the things I don't like about the blessed card is that it says something that, you're blessed with something that, I think it's the blessed card that says that, but you're blessed with something and that you don't deserve. You always deserve it. That's the thing of it. I have faith in this. I have faith in it because I am blessed, because it enhances my life. It enhances my belief system. It enhances my faith and the things that I believe in.